All right, everyone, we are back with the off season that never ends. Today we'll be going in with Warlock, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and I'm going to be playing around with Rogue. I'm taking Path 9 in Section 1 and Path 4 in Section 2. Alright, so this first fight, Wolverine Weapon X, typically, or ideally, you're going to want to take this fight with power back boosts if you're using Warlock in an actual season. Since I'm in the off season, I decide not to use those. Plus, I figure he might have suicides. But really, the game plan here is to block and parry a lot at the start while he's in the incinerate phase. And then as we approach the poison phase, go ahead and start laying on the hits. And then be prepared for him to go berserk. Probably right before the incinerate phase, just from building charges and then using a special attack. So the reason you're probably going to want power back boosts here is your game plan is to build to SP2, and a PS1 will help with that. And then right as you get to SP2, use it during the poison phase, and then it should give you enough power back. If not, a couple combos will do it. To throw the second SP2, and it should knock him out, especially max boosted. You can see here from 1, granted he had suicides, he went out. So in season, PS1 power back tech boosts. All right, this Massacre here on the second node is the reason I brought Rogue. I wanted to test how well she'd shorten the duration of the incinerate and the poison here to see if she'd take minimal damage, to which she was sustainable for this path and even the next path, or Path 9 in Section 2, which I didn't assign myself. So I figured Massacre was a safe bet just because of the class relationship here. Plus, there's nothing really to worry about with Massacre as long as I'm paying attention to parry while I have a debuff on me. And after taking this fight, I'm going to realize that I probably could have taken maybe Wolverine Weapon X with Rogue and the Void after this. But you can see here, the incinerates don't last long enough for me to take much damage, and I can offset a lot of it with the SP1. So I'm waiting for feats of indestructible to disappear before throwing the SP1. I did, as you probably saw at the beginning of the fight, I did throw an SP1 while the indestructible was up, and I still healed. So it's not a worry of it not healing, it's just it's going to make the fight longer if some of that damage isn't counted. But we're at 50% here, about a minute in. She's doing well. So far she hasn't taken multiple debuffs fast enough to lose more than 5% of her health, even with block damage. And I think the set of poisons here, this is the closest it gets. So poison can, of course, affect healing. So especially if the defender has max despair. So could cause a hiccup. It just really means that you're probably not going to exit using SP1. There was a point in this fight that, or even after, that I thought I could probably do SP2s into SP1s just because of the power back. But she handles it fine. Very sustainable, possibly, for matchups on Path 9. Moving on to this Void. Again, Cosmic Ghost Rider is somewhat new, so I wanted to just go ahead and get used to using him to where I'm not screwing up as much. But here, this is a good matchup. So there's the parry heavy. Now we're gonna do the power gain judgment. And luckily he does a full combo here, and we go right into our next judgment and then throw the SP2. I did not use cosmic power back boosts here, but all the armor breaks here are going to last long enough that going into the incinerate, I'm going to do quite a bit of damage with basic attacks, and down Void goes. So very easy fight for Cosmic Ghost Rider. All right, next up, I thought I'd be a little cute and take the bishop that we had on Mixmaster. So this is going to be an example of outplaying the node and not really bringing the perfect matchup. Now, yes, Warlock is a good matchup for Bishop, but Warlock can do absolutely zero about Mixmaster. So you're going to see a lot of parry medium light when Bishop is below a bar of power. And then when he's above a bar of power, it is just block beta heavy or reparry from block and medium light into block. So the goal here with this strategy is that we're turtling so quickly that Bishop doesn't throw his special one and that he immediately throws a heavy instead. And what I wanted to do with Warlock, this is actually part of what is probably what makes Warlock a good option for this playstyle, is to build to SP3 and let that power drain Bishop. And because of power focus 1, I'm never going to have to worry about Bishop getting to SP3 before me. So here we are at SP3. We've taken off about 1/3 of his health. And this is going to heal back a lot of the block damage, or some of the block damage we took, about 6 or 7%, all while power draining him. So immediately into block so that he doesn't throw any special attacks, back into this bait heavy medium light rotation. And this is it. Now it's long, it's boring. I didn't max boost, so it could obviously go quicker. But this ends up being almost a 3.5 minute fight. So actually it might even be shorter just because of the boosting. But this is just the matchup being fine, but outplaying the node. And he's not going to throw a special this entire fight. This is probably also another situation where I probably could have gotten away with using tech power back boosts and just cycling SP2s to end this fight a lot quicker. But what I have to rely on in that scenario is either A, I kill him before he gets to SP3, which he probably will, or B, that he has willpower and the infection causes him to power drain. So, or the AI could stand up so quick after your SP2 that they decide to throw a special into your block. Not the end of the world if you keep all prowess off, which it seems like we're doing pretty well. But yeah, it's approaching that 2.5 minutes. So it took 2.5 minutes. And down he went ahead and ended it with an SP2. So pretty good play. All right, moving on. We have another weapon X on Footloose. I decided to take it since I have Warlock, and I didn't actually plan to use Warlock after that Bishop fight. This is another matchup where if you're using Warlock for Weapon X, that you want tech power back boosts. You would just PS1, get to SB2 while pushing him into Berserk. Once he goes Berserk, wait out the Footloose buffs, and then intercept him with an SB2. And you should do enough damage, especially with suicides, to get back to or very close to an SB2 and just do the second SB2 and he should go down. So you see here it's going to get a little dicey trying to block Dex a heavy out, and I do throw in some intercepts. And now I'm going to try and get away so that he doesn't use a special, and boom, down he goes. So lucky he had suicides, so we didn't have to worry about tech power back boosts. All right, so my last fight with Cosmic Ghost Rider, Infinity War Ironman. It's a great matchup for Cosmic Ghost Rider, as long as you're paying attention to the armor ups before you throw SP2. So I don't know what it is lately. You guys probably experience this, or it probably happens a lot, and I just don't pay attention to it that much. Infinity War Ironman really likes building up to 4 armor ups right at the start of the fight. So boom, there's a parry. Now, I didn't heal to full, so this is a problem. And he gets really close to another set here coming up, and I ended up triggering dexterity. So now I'm going to go ahead and just build to SP3. Instead of throwing this SP2 and actually resetting judgments, which I could do, that is an option. All right, and this SP3 will reset the judgments. However, my health will be low. It's going to take off, I think, 1 or 2 high ground charges, but he's still going to have high ground. And now I'm going to try to get to SP2 without triggering dexterity. So here's the heavy. I don't know why it threw that. Oh, because the judgments hadn't reset yet. Huh. So there's the heavy judgment. Blocked that because I didn't want to trigger dex. And now I realize, oh, I'm going to have to intercept him to finish this. And boom. Game over. This is actually going to do enough damage to knock him out. So we clutched it. Needed an intercept. We landed an intercept. GG. All right, so the last fight I wanted to test Rogue on was this Sorcerer Supreme here on the second node of Path 4 in Section 2. There's a high chance she could get me to go, or she could get me with 3 debuffs, and then she'd be unblockable the entire fight. So that's what I wanted to test. I wanted to test if I could shrug off the debuffs fast enough and power control the fight with Rogue. So let's see. So my game plan here, and I use PS1 just so that I could get to SP2 a lot quicker and keep her under a bar of power as often as possible. Obviously with Mystic Dispersion, that's going to be a little bit hard. Plus our power drain is going to be dependent on crits. So if we don't crit on SP2 that much, then it'll be a lot harder. So here I'm going to wait till she gets a little closer to a bar before throwing that. And as long as she's not throwing special attacks, we don't have to worry about a 3rd debuff. I say 3rd because if we lose an opening and enough time goes by, we'll eventually get an armor break debuff, and that counts for the 2nd. So there we go. We're still at 1, still power controlling really well. And that debuff, that slow debuff disappeared before the armor break showed up, so she didn't go unblockable. So that's a good sign. That was a good thing to see. So far, so good. My Rogue is Sig 80. So I think she's 34% chance to crit and power steal, and down Sorcerer Supreme goes. So not a bad option at all. Really like how sustainable Rogue is. Last fight of the war, since Warlock was still alive, I decided to go ahead and see how annoying his degen would be against high ground for this Professor X. So one thing obviously working in my favor is that this node has Mighty Charge. So if willpower does come into play and causes degen, it'll go away pretty quick as soon as he dashes into me. So game plan with Warlock, as it is with almost any node, you use M4s to build the SP2, drop the SP2. Now this has ebb and flow intercept, so I'm going to try to obviously intercept before throwing the big SP2. So we actually got an intercept there. Miss is ready. We're going to go ahead and wait it out and then go ahead and hit him. Now we've got a good window for the next miss. Trying to bait out special attacks so we limit blocking as much as possible. And there, got a cheeky backdraft intercept to throw this SP2. Now we're baiting, nope. Now we're getting ready to try and parry him. Triggered that miss there off the heavy, which was good. Didn't get retaliated. Now we have another big window. And so far, high ground's not going to cause us to die. It's just annoying item use later if I have to use Warlock after this fight. In a in-season war. Trigger miss, wait it out. Now we're going to backdraft intercept and drop this SP2. And down he goes. So, good war for me. A lot of stuff practiced. No items used. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Go ahead and hit subscribe. I will catch you at the next off-season war.